So I'm going to jump into some of the basics for Langrisser and how to stay competitive in both PvE and PvP. The first thing you want to do is check things like your events. These events sometimes give you SSR equipment. So sometimes there'll be a little red dot next to them. Sometimes all you have to do is log in every day and it'll give you some amazing stuff. You see in this one it gives you a Trinity card every day, and the Battle of Honor one, Trinity crystals every day, and SSR equipment as you level up. So once you get these, you should claim your rewards and use them as you see fit. Now, mail, they'll give you stuff in the mail, like if you win in the arena, they will give you coins and arena points. So you definitely, if you see the red dot on your mail, you check it. The ranking isn't really important on a daily basis, but you can check every now and then and see where you are. Right now I've fallen a little bit because I haven't played a lot recently, but there you go, you can see my ranking. My strongest heal is still almost close to 1,000, so that is of course my Leon. Now friends, this early on you want to try to get this number to 60. So you just go to the add friend section and you spam as many friend requests as you can, because every day they give you a friend coin. Friend coins can be used for friendship vouchers and a bunch of other useful items. So you can see that some of my friends have not been active in many days, 4 days. So you just go through and every now and then you need to clean this up, delete any of the friends that are not active, and apply for a friend that is active. So go to the add friends, hit the refresh until you find one, and send it. I would send 5 or 6 to get one spot because you don't know who's going to respond. And it is important to keep your friends at 60 because that is just a daily free stuff that you're getting. And of course remember to give your friends coins, because they probably won't like you very much if you just take and you don't give. Now, the summon tab, of course, can summon your heroes using Trinity vouchers or using friendship vouchers. In store. So in the store, this is where you're going to use all of your points, your gold. There's a lot of different currencies in here. The honor points is what you get from the arena. The friendship points is what you get daily. So you can get a Trinity voucher, 2 per month. So you should always go for the Trinity voucher first with your honor, with your friendship points, and then branch out. But always make sure you have enough to get the Trinity voucher, at least the 2 for the month. Now, of course, this equipment, you'll do it by getting the Goddess Trials. Those will give you these materials that you can use to buy equipment. The higher level ones get you the orange material, which gets you SSR equipment. Okay, your missions. Daily missions, very important. Always get the hamburgers. The hamburgers keep your playtime up, and you won't have issues with stamina if you keep collecting the hamburgers every day. I've almost never had issues with playtime, and I've had days where I was off work and I just sat there and played the entire day and never had an issue where I had to use Trinity crystals. So you definitely have enough content that if you sit down and you keep playing, you can constantly get things done. You can keep progressing. You never will be limited to the point where you can't do anything. Especially if you get your hamburgers on days when you do work or when you have less time, you can then use them on other days. So I am stocked up on 50 hamburgers. I don't think I'm ever going to have an issue with stamina. So training. Training is another very important part. It didn't even seem to tell you about the expeditions in the tutorial, and this is just free stuff you get. So you want to go through and let me show you how to begin an expedition. You hit the begin button and it will give you a list of characters that are efficient. I usually put it to 8 hours because I don't want to come on and check every 2 hours, and of course the amount of hours you do it's more rewards. I think you get more if you can do the 2 hour and check in every 2 hours. I think you'll get more than the 8 hours. So if you do 8 hours of checking 2 hours, you do seem to get more. So of course I'm going to go through and I'm going to try to get it to as high of 100% as possible, but without going over 100%. Because if you're going over 100%, you're losing out. So I would say we want to go for 100%, and we'll set that expedition up. And we'll jump into another one, and we'll just show you one more, because now that those guys are on an expedition, you can still use those heroes. It doesn't affect the actual game. So now we have different heroes available, and I'm going to need to use those two. And that one would be 100, but Tiaris would also be 100, Vargas would also be 100, so let's go down to her. She would also be 100, so when I do... Let's try one of these. Because remember, I have a whole nother expedition to set up. I need to save some of these good guys for the next expedition. So this is going to be about 84%. And then the third expedition I'm going to set up is probably going to be Matthew, Tiaris, and Vargas. And that'll probably be around 60 or something %. And that'll help optimize how much you get from each of these. So let's send that expedition off, and I'm not going to bore you with watching me set up my last one. So, of course, training, once they come back, you're going to have the red dots, which tells you what you can buy. I always go for the advanced or elite, because you go for the attack on a lot of things, or defense on spearmen, attack on infantry and cavalry. So I would always try to push towards that. But of course the lower levels are cheaper in materials, so if you get everything to level 2, that's much easier than getting one to level 5 and keeping the other one at 1. There's no point to getting too far apart on any of the training. And there's some big buffs here on the training. Like for my cavalry, I have a 12% plus to attack after adding plus 28. So that percentage is affecting that plus 28 as well. So these cavalry are doing a lot more damage because of the training. You'll also notice I don't do a lot of attack, archer, or bandit, or holy demon training, because I've never found those really useful. The holy training, unless I can find something that increases intelligence, they're really not useful. They're not for damage, so... Now, the bonds. The bonds probably give some of the best buffs in the game. So you get bond material from doing different events in the game, and the bond trials. The Gate of Fate, these ones just give you shards, so you can use them for the memory shards, and they'll also give you some other rewards, sometimes bond material. So the shards that you get from this can be used to bring your heroes up to the next star level, which will increase their health, their damage, increase everything quite a bit. So yet again, more buffs. So there's a lot of optimization you can get in every single hero. So if you join a guild, that just helps you with these secret realm events. Any event that you do where you do co-op and have multiple players going, you'll get extra items from. Especially if they're on your friends list, you'll get even more extra items. It's not a lot of extra items, so if you find that it's a bad day and no one's on, you should still do your dailies even if you can't get into a joint battle. But joint battles are just little icing on top. So to do your joint battles, you go to the secret realm. You can see it says 2 next to it. That means you need to do it 2 times that day, and you'll get huge amounts of rewards, and anything the third time you do it is going to give you a minuscule amount of rewards, but it will still give you a good amount of XP. So these ones are really great for grinding. If you really want to get your level up, you come in here and you keep doing these levels. And the time rift, it tells you early on about the time rift. There's a lot of items in here that are necessary. If you go through the time rift, it'll give you the items you need to upgrade the class on your characters. So you will need to go into the time rift and do these events, and some of them are pretty cool. I think the story in the Time Rift is actually even more entertaining than the story that I'm actually playing currently. So then of course the events. There's no events right now, but a little character will pop up on the screen, and it could be anything from a swamp, save a villager, or it's just random events, and they list what types of items you can get from it. Now of course gold is so abundant, I don't think you should really care about the gold events. Unless you have extra time, do the gold events, but in reality you should focus on the armor events and the ones that get you the upgrade hammers, because you always are trying to look for materials to upgrade your equipment. So if you see the crystal hammers, go for those ones. Now I did get a question on one of my comments about what to do with Trinity shards, and I would definitely say you only go the Trinity crystals. You should only get Trinity cards with them. So if you hit the plus sign here, you can 880 gets you 10 Trinity vouchers. Now there's 88 there's 1 Trinity voucher. That's of course the same ratio. So you can go through and buy individual cards. I probably should get them. And you should never get gold, and you should never recharge. The recharge is inefficient. Well, recharging your stamina, it's not worth it. So never go through and do that. That's just a waste. Now if you go to the store, you can get the hammers, I would say, sometimes are worth buying. Sometimes the horseman scrolls, the shards are usually not worth using there. Yet again, Trinity shards should always be used for Trinity crystals. No, Trinity cards. So let's go to the Trinity cards. So with 10 Trinity cards, you can get the 10 and a guaranteed SSR. You should always do the 10. You never should do one at a time. So like right now I have enough Trinity crystals. I could do 10, and I could do 10 summons, which will get me a guaranteed SR. So hopefully enjoy the video. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. Peace out.